For this video, I will be talking about what to do after the board exam, whether you pass or fail the exam. So this is for the Librarians Licensure Examination in the Philippines, but might be applicable for other professional board exams as well. And this is a very different exam from the previous exams because of the pandemic. So aside from preparing for the board exam with your review and PRC documents, there are still more additional documents required because of COVID. So from the requirements, I read that there are more documents needed, such as a negative RT-PCR test or a certificate of quarantine. And all these requirements might be a burden or might be difficult for some test takers. If you chose not to take the exam at this time, it's totally understandable because of the current circumstances. And with the quarantine classifications in certain regions, you don't know if the board exam will be canceled in your location. So I don't want to sound so pessimistic, but the Librarian's Licensure Examination or any other exam is a game of chance. There are things that we might not expect might affect our results. So there's always a chance of succeeding, but also a chance of failing. And if you fail the board exam, you really have my sympathies. And at this time, it's a very difficult situation for everyone. And I think that might really affect how we take the board exam right now. There are many people who took the board exam again and passed and succeeded. So failure is not the end. There's always a next time. So failure may be a bad thing, but it also has an advantage in a sense that you already took the board exam, so you know what to expect next time. And you can assess your weaknesses about what you can improve the next time you take it. So while I was studying for the board exam, I was reading this book I downloaded from Project Gutenberg. I will put the link below. It's the book How to Study by George Fillmore Swain. So in my experience, this is the best book that I read on studying. There was this quote from the book that stood out for me, and it's a good reminder for those who might have failed the board exam. So it goes like this: you should delight in discovering difficulties which give you an opportunity to test and increase your strength, and so avoid future errors. In the same way, examinations should be welcomed, not dreaded. The teacher does not mark you, you mark yourself. The teacher merely records the mark. Even if you fail in the examination, that should indicate to you what you lack and so be a benefit. Indeed, it is better to fail than to scrape through. There must be a line somewhere. The man just above the line passes and the man just below the line fails. The former may not be as capable as the latter, but having passed, he does not remedy his faults, while the man who has failed is required to remedy his. Even if you failed, it will give you more advantages the next time you take it. So the advantages might be you already know what the exam looks like, so it will be familiar to you and you know how to study for the next time. If you fail, it's understandable if you feel sad about it, and you might want to take some time to rest. And if you want to take the board exam again, you will know what mistakes you have made and how to improve them. But what about for those who pass the board exam? So if you pass, congratulations, but it doesn't end in the board exam. So here are some things that I wish someone told me when I was just a new professional. So after the PRC results, there are still a lot of requirements because you need to get your professional identification card, your certificate of registration as a professional, and there is an oath taking for new professionals. So always visit the PRC website for updates. As a new professional, you also have new responsibilities. So aside from that, try to join organizations related to your profession or librarianship. So here in the Philippines, we have Philippine Librarians Association as the biggest librarians organization, and I encourage you to join, participate, and volunteer for your local librarians council. So it's good to be a part of a group, to be updated of events, of the latest trends, and to also network with other professionals and librarians. I am part of the Western Visayas Regional Librarians Council, and 3 years ago, I was the secretary. And it's good to be active and volunteer for your local group of librarians. And read up on CPD law, the Continuing Professional Development Law, is something that all professionals need to know. Like, for example, for librarians, in order to renew your license, you need to have a certain number of CPD units. You get these units through conferences, seminars, learning activities, and even publishing your research in journals. So if you have time, try to read up on this law because it's very important. Next is attend seminars and conferences. So even with the pandemic, there's a lot of free webinars. And it's an advantage because with conferences before, you really have to spend a lot for accommodation and other expenses to attend a conference. But with the free webinars, it's very convenient for us. On Facebook, there's this group, Webinars for LIS Specialists. I will also post the link below. So this page is always updated on the latest events and webinars on librarianship. I also update sometimes on my page, Malditang Librarian. Seminars and conferences are a good way to learn about new things and network with other professionals. And next is stay active and learning. So you don't stop studying after the board exam. So if you had a bachelor's degree, you might want to take a master's degree or pursue higher studies. So as librarians, we work in an ever-changing field, so it's important to be updated and know the latest trends on librarianship. For more videos about Philippine librarianship, you can subscribe to this channel or follow my page on Facebook at facebook.com/malditang-librarian. If you have more topics that you want to suggest for me to talk about, you can comment down below. Thanks for watching.